Everybody, okay, so I'm back and I have baby Micah with me. Look at Micah. Oh my goodness, mommy. Oh my goodness, look at this little baby. Oh my goodness. Yes, I'm a tutu. We're twins. He has my eyeballs. We got big eyes, okay? Big eyes run in my family. And so do big lips. Um, okay, this is Micah. And he is here. He was born June 25th, 2015 at 10:50 a.m. 9 pounds, 3 ounces. That's what I said. That's what I said. When the doctor, measured him. And then initially it was measured in kilograms. And I'm like, honey, I don't know what that is. You're going to have to translate for me or convert that for me into pounds. So they were like, oh, he's 9 pounds, 3 ounces. Congratulations. And I'm like, girl, you said that like that's a good thing. Okay. So let's start from the beginning because this labor and delivery story was the hardest one out of all 5 of my kids. This pregnancy was the hardest. Child, it was just a mess. So let's get started. First, let's take again this beautiful baby. Look at me. Look at these little baby toes. You see these baby toes? Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I love the baby toes. I love these baby toes. Yes, I do. Micah. He is kicking it. He just got through nursing. Look at that face, boy. Look at this face. Okay, mom's gonna sit you up right. I just love him. Like, I sit and hold him and look at him all day. He had a head full of hair. And I was shocked because I didn't have any type of heartburn. And my first 3 kids had hair. The last 2 did not have hair. They were like bald. If I remember Malachi was bald for a long time. As a matter of fact, he still has like this short little fro. He's just a bald little man. It's okay. It's all right. It's all right. But no. So, if you guys follow my... Hold on. What? Did he break him? Okay, tell him to stop and sit down. Okay, I'm trying to get through this video really quickly. So, June 17th was my initial due date. June 17th came and went. No type of nothing happened. The water broke. I just barely dilated 3 centimeters. Okay, it was a mess. So, doctor was like, no, baby, holler at me 7 days from now. So, that following Wednesday, which was June 24th, I was scheduled to be induced at 10 p.m. at night. Okay, so, child, it's hot. Ooh, these hormones. Hold on. Hold on. Ooh, Lord, help me. Okay. Ooh, Lord, it's hot in here. I'm just big and hot. Okay, so I went in around 9:30, got logged in. I didn't get the Pitocin, which is the medicine to induce you, until 12 o'clock. So if you guys ever been induced, you know they give you the medicine a little bit at a time, and then as it progresses, as far as like your dilation, my baby's looking like what? As it progresses, they give you more if they need to. So they can only start off a little bit at first, and I think they can go up to like cc's, like 16 cc's or something like that. All my nurses helped me out. It was like the number 16 was the highest amount of medicine they can give me. Okay. So initially started off with 2 to 4. So I'm in there, 2 o'clock in the morning hits. I haven't eaten dinner since breakfast, and they tell you you're not supposed to eat. You're not supposed to eat anything. We're taking the Pitocin. So me being hard headed, I sent my husband to the Krispy Kreme, and I had 2 donuts. It was real good going down, but when it was time to give birth, it was all bad. I shouldn't have did it. When they tell you don't eat. Okay, listen, don't eat. Okay. So 12 o'clock, around 2 o'clock a.m., I'm eating donuts. I was supposed to be. Nothing's happening. I'm maybe 4 centimeters, barely. Nothing's happening. So I go to sleep. Okay. 6:30 wakes up. I'm having contractions. I'm like, oh, wait a minute. Let's get that epidural on. Let's get that epidural going. So they came and gave me the epidural. My body, I've had the epidural before, and I've had a natural birth before. But this particular time, the epidural did not take as well as I thought it was. And I'm just going to assume that it was competing with the Pitocin, because at this time, I'm at a 14. Like, they kept upping the doses because my cervix wasn't opening. I wasn't dilating. So, so this is like 6:30 in the morning. So hours pass, they're checking me, and around 9:15, 9:30, the doctor comes in. He was like, Miss Stokely, you know, you're barely opening, you're stuck at an 8, you've been at 8 for a few hours. We may have to do emergency C-section because the baby's heart rate kept dropping. And I'll tell you why it kept dropping towards the end. Okay, so and as you can't really see what's going on, you know what I mean? You can just make your best judgment as far as the doctor is concerned. So they can't do an ultrasound with the baby and see what's happening. So they gave me oxygen. The anesthesiologist who administered the epidural had to give me 2 more clicks of epidural medicine because the left side of my body wasn't taking it. And I don't know why, but it was weird. I didn't like it. It was a bad experience. I was over it. Okay, so that's around 9:30. And then, like I said, he was born at 10:50. It took me like maybe 10 to 15 minutes to actually physically pop him out. So the doctor's like, I was like, can we just wait a little bit longer? He was like, yes, definitely. So we waited a few more. He's like, I give you, like another hour and a half, maybe 2 hours, and then we'll have to move forward. I'm like, okay, cool, because I want a healthy baby. You know what I mean? But if I can deliver him vaginally, that's fine. I'm already at 8 centimeters. I'm not that far away, you know. So then 10 something happened, around 10:30. I'm at 10. I'm like, all right, let's ready, let's go, because his head was crowned. It was ready to get him out. And as soon as I started pushing him out, they could see that the umbilical cord was wrapped around his neck, really tight. It was wrapped around one time, but it was really tight. So his hands and feet were pale, and he was a little blue because he wasn't getting the oxygen. So they cut the cord, and then I pushed him out. And it was so hard for me to push him out because I was given so much epidural because I needed it for pain. So it was just hard for me to push him out. I was numb. My right leg was numb like hours after the epidural, but the rest of my body was fine. But it was just my right leg. I couldn't move it. And it was weird. Okay, so I was over it. So I pop him out. Like I said, he's blue. So, of course, they go to the baby crash cart area. So they're like checking his heart rate, checking his lungs, weighing him, making sure that he didn't swallow any fluid. And if he did, it's clear. It's not any like I forgot what it's called, but when they poop inside the womb, they can swallow it and they can get sick and get an infection. But he didn't swallow anything. He was fine. His heartbeat was fine, and I'm glad we got him out the way within the time that we did. And he came out 9 pounds 3 ounces, and I'm like, that's because he was a week past due. He should have been here on the 17th. You should have been here 17th. No, you weren't ready? Okay, he wasn't ready. He said I wasn't ready until June 25th, and that's it. That's what I'm saying. I'm like, all right, we'll work it out then, baby. Okay, you weren't ready till then. But he pooped and peed as soon as they cut the umbilical cord and they went to go, clean him off and cut the actual cord off his stomach. You know how they clip it? Because they had to cut it twice. Once off his neck and then the other one off his tummy. And then he peed and pooped right there. So that was an awesome sign. But when I tell you, let me tell you, backtrack right quick. When I tell you the doctor came and told me, you may have to have a C-section, I was so scared because I've never had a C-section before. I'm like, what's going to happen? You know what I mean? I told my husband just to pray over me, pray over my baby because I was stressed out. And he did. And then by the grace of God, my baby came here safe and he's healthy. Yes, I made a healthy baby. Oh, look at this. Okay, so he's healthy. And I was able to have him vaginally the way I anticipated. Also, because he was so big, I did have tearing. And then she was down there for a minute, and she had this long string, and she was just like, I was like, what are you doing? I said, did he rip me that bad? She's like, oh, there was just a little tear. I was like, you've been down there a good 20 minutes. Come to find out, the doctor was new to delivering babies. And I guess you got to start somewhere because she had another seasoned doctor like coaching her because he's talking to her in front of me. Because apparently when his head was out, she kind of pulled it a little bit. He was saying that you want to be careful not to do that. You want to pull by the shoulders. And if you do, he was just correcting her. And I'm like, if this young lady hurt my baby, get my baby brain damage, we'll have a misunderstanding. But he's fine. You know what I mean? But still, I'm like, why? I have Kaiser. We have Kaiser. You get anybody who's on call. So I didn't have the doctor I saw throughout my pregnancy. Okay, fine, whatever. I knew that going into the hospital. But still, So she's like, I guess she wants to make sure she was sewing it right. So like, it took her longer than usual than the other doctors in the past. I'm like, okay, girl, just take your time. Make sure you do it right. Don't be messing me up and have me all scarred up and scabbed up because you don't know how to sew back perineal. Perineal is the piece of skin between your vaginal and your anus. Yeah, if you didn't know. Okay, so I did have tearing. He said it was just a little bit. And then I have dissolvable stitches. They're still there. They actually, it's 3 weeks since he's been born, last Thursday. So yesterday was 3 weeks. And I have tearing. I mean, not tearing, itching, because the scab that the stitches are healing, and the, you know, when your skin heals, it scabs over and kind of itches. Yeah, that's something to anticipate if you have a natural childbirth and you have vaginal tearing. Okay, I didn't get an episiotomy, and episiotomy is when they actually cut you with a knife. But no, I always tell them let him rip me naturally because I feel like you heal better when you don't have the episiotomy. Okay, so moving on. So as soon as I finally get to see him, and I'm like, oh, look at his hair, and he's like gasping for a boob, and I'm like, oh, okay, you want some boob? So I'm nursing him, and we're bonding, and I love it so much. He's the most beautiful little baby. Like, I'm sleepy. I'm tired, mama. And that was basically it. But for me, it felt like it took forever and a day to get all that taken care of, just to get him here, because I was pregnant. I usually have all my kids around 38 weeks. He didn't come till 41 weeks. So, oh, good bird, baby. So, I was over it. I had him, that Thursday, and I left that Friday. Apparently, if you have your baby within 24 hours, the baby has to be at least 24 hours at the hospital. But after that, if you're healthy and you clear to go, you can leave. And I did. I had him Thursday. I went home Friday afternoon, like at 2 o'clock. I really don't like hospitals. My friend's like, why don't you stay here and let them cater to you? I'm like, girl, every 2 minutes, every 2 to 20 minutes, 2 to 20 minutes, somebody's knocking on my door asking me questions. I'm like, this is not peace. Y'all stressing me out. Y'all worse than my kids, okay? I mean, administrative people, nurses, they sign you 2 nurses, then you have your doctor, then you have the pediatrician for the baby, then you have like people who do the eye test, the hearing test, the lactation specialist, the cleaning lady for the hospital, the food cart people. I'm like, y'all stop knocking on my door, okay? I'm sleeping. Don't bother me, okay? I was stressed out. But also, I didn't know this, but apparently if your baby's over 9 pounds, they automatically give him glucose tests to make sure he doesn't have diabetes. And I didn't have gestational diabetes throughout my pregnancy, but he was so big, you know, they were like, let me, and they had to keep pricking him on the foot, and they kept sticking his baby feet. Yes, they did. I didn't like it. Look, to make sure his glucose level were where they're supposed to be. So initially he tested really low on him, which wasn't good. When I started nursing him and feeding him, my colostrum was already in. So he ended up being healthy. He ended up being fine. He was a little jaundiced, but not that much. He was fine. We didn't have to do additional tests. I wasn't told to put him in a light. He was fine. Look at his face. Everybody was like, is that a 1-month-old baby? Him big. He's only 3 weeks old. Like, that's it. Just 3 weeks. You see this big boy? Ooh-wee. 9 pounds. We went to the doctor yesterday. He's 9 pounds, 12 ounces, 21.5 inches. And he's the biggest of all my children. I gotta remember how big I was initially when I had him. As far as like my stomach, if y'all follow me on Instagram, I know I was big and complaining the whole last 3 weeks. I was over it. I was. Look, yes, I'm asleep. Oh my goodness. But yeah, y'all. That's my labor and delivery story. It was challenging, like I said. There was a lot going on, but we made it through. We're here. Everybody's healthy. Everybody's fine for the most part. I am breastfeeding exclusively. You guys know I'm a breastfeeding advocate. I have a couple of videos here on YouTube talking about breastfeeding. I'll attach the main one below. It's called African American Women Breastfeeding 101. And this just gives you the basics as far as like how to latch on, because I know a lot of women say, oh, breastfeeding hurts, and if it hurts, you're not doing it properly. It shouldn't hurt. Although if it is your first time breastfeeding, I want you to stay encouraged and take your time, because you have to teach your baby how to latch on. You know what I mean? For him, he had some strong jaws. So when he was latching on initially, he was like, clamp down. And I'm like, oh no, I gotta teach you to do this better. You're hurting me. I'm not gonna be able to do it. And then also when the engorgement phase came in, as you guys know, I have a video on engorgement and breast pumps. I have to put all those videos below, the links below. They're a couple of years old, but the information's still the same. So it hasn't changed. So yeah. That's basically it, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. I will be back in here. I have the energy now because that last baby, he drained me of everything. Like seriously, I was just in spandex and I was just laying on the couch. That's it. My kids be like, "Mama, you all right?" I'm all right. Y'all go play. Get out of here. Go sit down. You're making me hot by looking at me. It's making me hot. But yeah, this is baby Micah with these little baby lips. Oh my goodness, look at these baby lips. Oh my goodness. You ready to go sleep? You ready to go sleep? He's over it. He has the biggest hands and the biggest feet. Yes, you do. Oh, and I'm 5'1", and my husband's like 6'1". But everybody's on my side of his family's tall. His family is pretty big, but my side of the family is actually pretty big. So my mom's like 5'8", but I'm 5'1". Even Chloe's, I know my little sister, she's taller than me, and then my baby sister Alexis is taller than me. I get my height from my grandmother on my dad's side. So yeah, I'm 5'1". Like I said, I'm a little person, and I gained a lot of weight. I'm usually 103, 105, but I started this pregnancy off at 120. Okay. And I ended up gaining 41 pounds because I ended the pregnancy at 161, which is really heavy. And then I barely had any amniotic fluid that came out. You know how your water breaks? They hadn't ended up breaking my water, but it wasn't that much fluid that came out. So I was literally all baby. I had a 9-pound baby just sitting on my bladder. That's why I was angry and upset all the time. Yes, I was. I was big. But yeah. Okay, y'all. Let me go ahead and go. I just want to pop in and show y'all the baby. Say hey. Oh, God bless it. Oh, God bless it. God bless it. Yes, sir. God bless it. Stop in. Say hey. All right. I'll holla. Follow me on Instagram at chocolatetresses. The links are below. And bye.